live now. Live on YouTube.
Live.
Is it live or is it YouTube?
Good question.
I'll be back in a second. I need hangers. I'm doing laundry. So once I actually start building, guys, I'm going to try and experiment and hopefully not kill the entire stream. Since I'm working on the space shuttle, I'm going to try and record while streaming. I think that's supposed to work.
Well, today I'm going to be putting some washes and maybe some pastels in the Slave 1, so see how that goes.
Don't you have like 17 minutes to get that thing done for the May the 4th?
Till Friday at 11:59 p.m.
Okay.
Close enough.
That looks like B-17 you've got on your table there, Donnie.
It is.
Is it bad that I do this crap so much that I know what everybody's building?
Well, see,
Well,
Spence has been working on the Slave 1. I've been working on the B-17, and Buck's been working on everything.
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, and Donnie, really, really bad news for the Tuesday live stream.
What's that?
Tomorrow I should get the next pack for the Enterprise.
Oh, man. So that means we're going to have Enterprise on the live stream? Darn, what a shame.
I know. It's terrible.
You should just give up, Buck.
What, on the Enterprise? Huh.
If that's all you're going to do is the Enterprise, I mean, gee whiz, come on.
Well, certain people are all about the Enterprise.
Yeah.
All the Enterprise all the time.
And I'm not one of them. No, by no means.
And then the Terminator, I've got 3 more packs for it to come. I've got all the X-Wing. I'm going to start finishing things rather than scattering all over the place.
Why in the world would you want to, bring order to anything, Buck?
Because I have so many models going right now that I can barely find a space to work. To include, let me pick this up and bring it over. I've shown this on Discord. I'm also working on this right here right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Well, and the light kit should be here in the next week or so, and so that means I got to take parts of it back apart to put the light kit in.
Cool. I've been working on this all week.
Nice.
Ooh, Blue Dragon. Love Blue Dragons.
Yeah. So far, so good.
What do you think of Eric and his weather and sharing it with everybody?
I know, right?
I think he needs to stop sharing. I know sharing is caring, but not when you're dealing with weather.
This is true. Not when you're dealing with cold weather.
Exactly.
Now, if Omar wants to share his weather, you know.
Yeah. Oh, did you guys see that I posted that weather in Alaska is warmer than Eric's?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Shoo, you made it.
Hey guys.
What up, Shu?
Yeah.
Hey, Shu, your bench looks a little full there.
Yeah, I always get pretty full when I'm doing a project, and I clean it up and start the next one.
Is that what you're supposed to do? There's my problem.
No, that's what I do.
No, well, see, here's my problem is I never finish one before I start the next one, so the bench never gets the chance to be cleaned up.
This is my work area, so I pretty much have to do that. I gotta get on I was gonna do this base thing here, and my scales are so screwed up I can't use them. So I gotta rework this. So I think it's weathering time.
Excellent.
That's cool.
Bench is weathering, Shu's weathering, I'm gonna be weathering. But what are you weathering?
I'm folding laundry right now.
Well, and Eric's really weathering.
Yeah, I'm trying to share it with everybody, and everybody sent. That's what happened. Eric shared his weather with all of us, and we all sent it back.
He didn't say no return.
I got this no effect stuff I was gonna try on this thing, but since I've changed my mind, I don't get to use it.
Oh,
I still might.
Is it the Army Painter snow effect?
No, it's called Precision Ice and Snow. It's a company out of, I think, England. And it's kind of a neat kit. It's got all kinds of, it's got what they call a snow, let's see here. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm trying to get this thing finished for the 4th. So it's got a little sieve. So you put this powdered snow, what you do is you spray hairspray or something, you put the powdered snow and you shake it like it's snowing.
Nice.
And then it's got the snow wash, which is really cool. I've seen it, what you do is you just kind of brush it where you want it. When it dries, it leaves like snow, so you can like build up a snow pattern with this
Oh,
wash.
that's kind of cool.
It's actually got adhesive. And got this, what they call the extra snow. So what you do is you mix this with an adhesive, then you just spatula it on like you normally would, and then you can, you know, build it up, change it. So that's kind of like for a base.
You just got all kind of snow.
And then we've got, this is the powder. And they have different, like extra fine, bigger, and then you just, like I said, you just put that in this little sieve, put your, whatever your, like hairspray or something, you just tap it, and then it just like snows.
Cool. I have Army Painter snow, which is basically like that powder.
Yeah, this is kind of, it's like a whole kind of system, because I've seen them. Then the kind of neat thing is this is kind of a thick. So what you do is then when you get it, you let it dry for a bit, you can put your footprints in it, and it leaves a footprint.
Oh, cool.
So I'm still kicking about whether I want to try it on this base and just do with that, and so I'm still thinking about it. My whole rock thing didn't work out. They were too small.
All right, just to catch everybody up on the chat, Kenny started the chat with Buck has club music going, waiting on the bass to drop. Then that's Eric's job to blow things up. Donnie sounds like he's talking over a supermarket microphone, and he said, "Hey, Shu."
Hey.
So, I finally found locator pins on this kit. There were like four. There were like 4 in the lightning mast, and there's 8 more right there. That is all the locator pins so far.
That's it.
Yep. And locator pins on this would have been really nice to have because you should have seen it. I had the building, or actually that's not a building since this is a crane. I had the weight here taped down, and then I taped down either of this, slid it back where in place, taped down through the scaffolding, down through the gaps there, taped it down, glued it to here, glued the centerpiece here, and then taped it down so it would sit in place. Was very time consuming. Once I do a little bit of sanding, I've got this taped off here because I'm going to paint. This is going to get painted white. Same with this. And then I'm working on the tower and getting all the floors onto the tower. This was a lot of work too. Again, no locator pins, so this was taped as best I could, glued as best I could, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is not completely square.
Close enough.
Except for I have like 12 of these to put on it. And it has to go through here. It is close enough. I'll be sanding each one of those down individually while I'm trying to fit it on there to make sure it goes all the way to the bottom or to the floor it's supposed to be. Each one gets easier.
Okay. That base out of the way. I know that Dragon Saturn didn't have any pins and didn't have anything to tell you where it went. It was just here's the decal and the instructions, and you can kind of figure out where it's supposed to go.
Oh, you mean the 5-foot one?
Yeah.
That's no fun because I've got that thing upstairs. That one will be on the agenda sometime soon. Because I also picked up it's a paper model, but I have the launch tower in 1/72nd scale for it. And of course, I have to light it.
It's just a crutch anyway, but.
Well, yeah, they are. Hey, I managed to build these 2 buildings without locator pins. I built this thing without locator pins. The main tower has no locator pins.
Personally, I would rather have no locator pins because half the time the pins are in the wrong place anyway.
Yeah. And I think Donnie, you and I have talked about it a long time ago. It might have been Shu about having this great paint to glue. I've learned. I taped it off before I painted.
Oh, yeah.
With to me, an extra thin, unless you put the paint on really thick, you don't have to scrape it anyway.
Well, so that's the thing is, to me, extra thin is good for like this, but for that tower, I need strength, so I'm using red tube.
Yeah.
Okay. Red tube and glue tips. And speaking of which, anybody who uses the red tube, hang on, did I glue that? Oh, okay. Anybody who uses the red tube and the glue tips, get yourself a syringe because it's a really good way to clean the tips out so you can reuse them.
I just usually trash. This is pretty much what I use
Yeah, I've got
for
that.
everything. Yeah, I just like it's just got. Then this one's the one with the metal applicator.
Oh, nice. I haven't
Because
seen.
most of the ones I used to find they had that plastic one, and that would get all gummed up after you used it twice.
Yeah. Well, that's
So I only
why.
look for the with the metal applicator.
That's why it comes with that little needle thing. But yeah, I haven't seen the testers like that with the metal applicator.
Yeah, I got that on Amazon, and you have to kind of like read the deals, because otherwise it just has the base. For this one, you have to kind of read it to make sure it has the metal tip.
Yeah. The only other one I've seen with metal tip is the Pactra. I haven't used it yet. Or Contacta, actually. Sorry. I've never used it
the
yet.
barrel one.
Yeah. Hopefully Revell knows how to melt their own plastic.
Hmm.
Man, already making a mess.
Is that silly putty on your desktop there, Shu?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Silly putty's good for masking.
Yeah, I use it for masking.
Really?
And then also on miniatures, I use it to stick them onto whatever I'm using to paint with it when I do the miniature characters. Not Eric's miniatures; those are too damn small.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
You're talking more along the lines of Tiny Batman.
Right.
Or he still is Unpainted Bane. I don't know why I get so entertained by those two little parts.
Yeah, that's okay, Buck. I have unpainted Tiny Batman.
Cool! That's right. Your Batmobile came with Tiny Batman.
Yes.
Actually,
Unpainted Tiny.
that's not Tiny Batman. That's medium-sized Batman. Tiny Batman's only 1/32 scale.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Tiny Batman, all right.
Yeah, he was specifically. He was in a kit that was made specifically for the Batpod that didn't have the Batman.
Oh yeah, I've got that, but I got the Catwoman with mine.
Yeah, the Catwoman's 1/24. I did both of them last year for the Batman group build. And it's surprisingly easy to build the Catwoman once you've built the Batman.
I'll raise you a tiny Boba Fett at 144.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I
win.
did that one with mine. And then of course the problem is you get all that done, nobody sees it.
But you know it's there.
Yep.
And you said the
See a
mini
little bit through
Eric
the
fingers
canopy.
It's the same thing with the little guys in this ATST. You can see them just fine if you like flash a light on it. So if I use a flash, you can see them.
Well, see, you should have installed lights in the walker.
Well, I thought about that, but then I'm kind of in a time crunch to try to get this done by the fourth thing. So no lights.
I can't help myself. I light everything.
Same.
I mean, you saw the Ecto 1, the Lego one.
Yeah.
I'm putting lights in it. I can't help it. I light everything, man.
Well, I have to admit, when Lego gives you a kit to light it with, I mean, why not?
Well, it's actually an aftermarket. But I've done several of the aftermarket lighting kits, and they're really pretty good. I just realized, because I'm sitting here not in full brightness the way I would normally be, I just sanded the shit out of the detail that's on here.
Why are you not in full brightness?
Because it makes scan lines on the camera.
Oh. Have you got the anti-flicker turned on that one?
I do.
Strange.
Just for giggles. I could do that one instead. You get no detail with that one. But I can turn on the light.
I need more light. You get one of those lights that Augie had on his video.
That was a cool little light, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's expensive, cool little light.
Yeah, they ain't cheap.
Yeah, it was like
Look up the price.
$250 for just the desk light.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll pass
And
it.
that's just for the desk, the desk light part. If you want any of the other stuff, that's extra.
Now I'll stick with my 2 for $40 LED lights.
Yeah, I'll stick with my $10 Walmart one.
I bought a. Hold on a second. I bought an LED shop light. Walmart for like $20. Let me show you
yeah,
the difference here.
I got one of those in my shop for. I got it. Costco.
This is just my. This is just my desk lamp.
Huh.
I'm using. Here's the LED light on top of that. So, much brighter.
Yeah. I think part of the problem is that the light is literally right on top of the camera.
Oh,
My light is literally about 2 inches to the side of the camera. So far, no scan lines.
See how you are? Not just because. I wonder. That's not too bad. I'm going to leave it like that. So here's an interesting dilemma I had when I started working on the crane.
What's that?
So these parts fit on here like this, and the weight here fits there where it's at, and this pin that lets it pivot goes in this hole underneath the weight that you cannot get to once the weight is glued on. And the pin's not supposed to be glued to the crane because that way it lets it pivot. So my thought is I'm going to glue the scaffolding here on where it goes without gluing the building in or the weight in, and then I'll paint everything the way it's supposed to be and then put the weight on. There's a reason why they call this thing a skill level 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No,
the
I've got that same shuttle. I just don't have all the stuff to it.
yeah.
launch tower.
But then I did see where in Thingiverse somebody had taken that Saturn V and built all the scaffolding for that you can 3D print.
Wow, that would be expensive.
Not really, if you do it with resin.
I don't know for sure because I don't have a printer, But I thought resin was more expensive than the filament.
No, not really, because the bottles right now are about $30, and you can get a lot of prints out of that. I mean, like this guy. And most of that scaffolding is, just like rods and stuff, so it wouldn't use that much, because this guy here, I mean, this is pretty big size here,
Yeah.
and this cost about, when you're done printing, about $1.50.
Wow, that's not bad.
Yeah, so you can get a lot of, I mean, right now I've got a problem with my bigger printer, it keeps failing on prints. But other than that, most of the time that doesn't happen, so. So yeah, it's not as expensive, I think it's, and it's less hassle than the filament printers.
Yeah. Well, for that Saturn V, back when I first got it, I bought a paper kit for the launch tower. So that when I build that, the paper kit is going to actually, it's on a not cardstock, but not quite cardstock, but a thicker paper. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do when I build it is I might just glue that thicker paper to a sheet styrene. And I've got, I want to say it's 4 foot by like 10 foot or 15 foot roll of sheet styrene that I bought specifically for that.
That would be interesting time to fold it if it glues the sheet styrene.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, is the parts that have to fold, I'm not going to glue to a sheet. I'm going to glue it to 2 separate pieces.
Ah.
You forget, Donnie, I've been thinking on this one since I got the kit in 2014.
Planning.
Yes, planning for years, work on it for 3 weeks, screw it up, throw it away.
Very interesting build philosophy.
You turn it into a diorama when you blow it up.
Yep. Well, actually, what happens is that I get frustrated with a kit and I set it aside until I am not frustrated with it anymore, which could be years.
Yeah, I've got a few like that.
And it wasn't the kit; it was the lighting kit and all the trouble I had with the. What was it? It used to be Big Easy Modeling Solutions. Now it's Scale Model Effects or something like that. Just had lots of problems with the kit and then with the guy.
Yeah.
And then this year he didn't appreciate my political philosophy when we were chatting on Facebook, and he blocked me. Broke my heart. Or not.
Yeah, I bet it did. I can tell.
I haven't heard terrific things about them.
No, I will tell you right now, they're not that good. As a matter of fact, It's been 2 years, this November I think it'll be 3 years that Big Easy went out of business, and he left a bunch of customers hanging.
Yeah.
That's not good for business at all.
Come back to
No.
new companies.
Huh?
Kind of like what they do in real estate. They screw everything up and they change their name and come back with a different name.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but at least the real estate companies, when they do that, are smart enough not to let everybody know they used to be this other real estate company that screwed
That
up.
is true.
Yeah, when he
This guy's
came,
on Facebook talking about how he used to be in BIMS, like he's proud that he screwed everybody over. Well, yeah, I used to run BIMS, but now I've got Stellar Effects. You should
That's
just
it.
take
that's the one. Sorry. Yeah, and what was really irritating is that when I had issues with him and had issues with the parts, he said, "Well, I'm not the guy who built the parts." I don't care. You're the guy who sold me the parts.
Yeah, you're selling it.
Look, guys, no locator marks on this part whatsoever. Or here, back here where it belongs.
That's why it's skill level 5, bud.
And then I'm adding lights to it, so that makes it a 7, right?
Locator pins, that's for skill level 3 kids.
Snap tights.
Hey, I tell you what, some of the snap tights aren't bad these days.
I know, right?
Yeah.
From my end of year video, that Ford I built last year was a snap tight. And it was something that I just did in the evenings upstairs while I was on the computer upstairs. I mean, most difficult part of it truly was the decals, but it made a pretty decent looking kit.
I suppose like this Bandai kit's pretty much. Oh.
Actually, let me see.
All of Bandai kits are just almost snap tight, whether they say
Yeah.
it or not.
Sometimes they are, they say they are, but sometimes you gotta use glue. I had one piece on this I had to glue, because it kept falling out, but otherwise I just pretty much snapped it all.
Well, the Bandai Starship kits,
Yeah.
they're snap almost tight. I have all 4 of them, and all 4 of them needed super glue to get them to fit correctly.
I did a lot of gluing on my Slave 1.
I haven't had to do anything yet.
Are you putting it in the foldable chain? You can move the wings.
No, I'm doing it. I'm putting a mounting rod in it, having it in flight.
Yeah, because I know that doesn't work. Because I did that, and I could, once you get them in position, if you turn them, then the pieces snap. And I remember Augie was doing on his, he had the same problem. I said, yeah, that happened on mine. It's when you kind of really got to put them in one position and leave, and that whole, it's going to move on its own, just doesn't work.
Really, because I've done that and it's been just fine. And I think his problem was he used what's that called? Enamel stuff, and it weakened his plastic. That's what he said. What happened was he.
Yeah, enamel wash.
Yeah, but I didn't use any enamel wash, and I seemed to be that it just didn't. It just, like I said, it was fine until I, got it done, tried to move it, and they just kept that little cotter pin kept breaking.
Oh. I haven't had that problem yet. I may. I haven't yet.
I hate to say it, but I have to. They are called snap tight. And so when you move the wings, it snapped.
That's true.
Sorry, couldn't help myself.
They never mentioned when the snap would happen.
Exactly.
Well, it happened when Thanos took the Infinity Gauntlet and,
Nah.
Yeah.
Those are the worst words that a first sergeant ever hears.
What's that? Snap?
What's that?
No. So what happened was,
Oh yeah, well, I've heard that plenty of times.
yep. But I tell you honestly, I would not go back and change a thing because I had a blast. Nice flash on here. It's funny too because as I'm building this kit, I actually went out and found the original instructions, which is why my center tower is red, because that's what the original instructions said. And the original instructions have issues compared to the current instructions, but neither of them are a good set of instructions.
I always wonder if the people who are writing the instructions are not the people who are building the models.
I always wonder.
You'll sit there and go, what were they thinking? Because that doesn't exactly fit right.
Yeah, I always wonder if they ever actually bothered to build one to begin with.
Nah.
Hey, the engineer said they would all fit together, so we're just gonna take the word for it.
Works on paper.
It fits perfectly on the CAD model. I mean, what's the big deal?
Works
Right.
on paper.
Sitting here trying to figure out which is the better way to glue this on here. Do I glue it to this little cap piece? Or do I use the locator pins that are that go straight down instead of at an angle?
Well, obviously, if the locator pins go straight down, then that's the way they should be.
Well, except for this little cap that ends up not touching the legs that it's supposed to sit on at all.
Well, then quite obviously you've done something wrong, but because those instructions can't be wrong.
Exactly. Especially from Revell.
Right.
Out of Germany.
Is it Germany? I think.
They're supposed to be coming out with a Wave Crest model.
With the which model?
Wave Crest.
Oh yeah.
And somebody else is coming out for me. I can't remember who it was.
Bandai, I think.
Bandai?
Yeah, well
I
they
think
got
they're doing
the
Mandalorian. Mandalorian and the Wave Press, I think.
well, they have the contract for Disney, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Surprised Disney hasn't tried to buy the Star Trek license yet.
Ooh.
Give them time.
I can just see it.
Now
Captain,
Paramount's screwing that up enough of their own, they don't need some help, any help.
Yeah, really.
I can see I can see Captain Picard wearing mouse ears. That would be funny.
I could see maybe like a joint deal like what Sony did with Marvel Spider-Man. But
Yeah. I will have to say though, the last season of Discovery was actually really good.
Yeah, Discovery's not too bad. I couldn't make it through the car.
I mean, the first season was not good because it was weird. So it kind of like took all our stuff we know and threw it out the window. The second season, they kind of brought a few things in. And then at the third season, it was more like Star Trek we knew. Just, with Discovery, and they had a lot of, characters you knew and some storylines and things like that, so they made an attempt.
You know, there's actually an episode of TOS Star Trek where they mention a science vessel named Discovery.
yep.
There's some anomaly or something that they run into, and Kirk tells her, have Starfleet send the Discovery to check that out.
Know the exact episode because I'm that much of a geek.
Same.
Which one is it?
Squire of Gothos.
Ah,
One of my favorites.
No, yeah, see, I always thought that guy that was there was Q.
Yeah.
I
I think I
think
read books about that, indeed.
Yeah, sorta.
I can see that guy being not a grown Q, but the Q that they were trying to create on Voyager.
Q Collective.
And then they sent him back into the past so he couldn't screw up anything they were doing then. So that's the way that's going to have to go. Wish me luck, guys. I'm about to glue these little skinny parts, and I just dropped one on the floor.
Yeah, Carpet Monster. You'll
That
find it.
never happened.
Well, see, that's the thing, Shu, is I have tile.
Ah, there you go.
But the tile monster is just as bad as the carpet monster because the stuff bounces.
Oh yeah, I know I have that problem all the time.
Oh, as a matter of fact,
I mean, I'll drop it on my foot and it'll be like across the room.
yes. As a matter of
And I always
fact,
find like there when I did the Batwing, the little Gatling gun, I was painting it and it flew across the room. I spent months looking for it, couldn't find it. Then I was looking for something else and found that part.
well,
I think there's a ghost around here too that just steals that shit and hides it.
I was starting to tape this off because the cockpit area here's got to be black, and I don't remember what it was, but I reached for something, and I broke the other speed speed brake off. Just snapped it off, and I looked. It was funny because it shot towards the window, and I heard it ping and rattle, and I'm like, okay, I'm digging around underneath the table. And I didn't find it. I'm like, okay, I'll figure out something, sheet styrene or something. And as I come out, it's right where my feet are. So it went back. It hit the back of the table, dropped underneath, hit something on the floor, and shot forward. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Because they don't move. I'm thinking I'm going to wait until the body goes, the top and the bottom go together, and then I'll just glue it in place. Have to do some touch-up painting on it, but the plastic is just so thin.
At least Buck's not updating us on how many people are watching every 5 minutes today.
Well, actually, I just happened to look over, and Eric finally showed up, and he went, "Hey, guys." And Kenny said, "Hey, Eric, they're too busy building for us, and I don't hear anything now." And he says, "Oh, they were just quiet and intensely building." Eric says, "Laugh out loud." Eric said, "Total supermarket Mike about you, Donnie."
Supermarket Mike.
Yes, to Kenny's comment earlier when it says, "Ha, Donnie sounds like like he's talking over a supermarket microphone."
Well, I can't figure out a way to get my EQ and OBS to work in Discord.
What type of mic are you using?
$28 mic off of Amazon.
Ah, that might be the problem, because Kenny cost me money when he suggested that I get a Blue Nano, or Blue Nano. So I have a Blue Nano. Kenny.
Yeah, I looked at those and I saw the price and I said, nope.
It works well.
It does. I'm not denying that.
Unless, of course, I have had the settings wrong before and couldn't figure out what was going on.
Well, my mic sounds good through OBS, but through Discord, not so much.
Yeah. So Kenny said, Yetis are good, and Spence, you know what Eric said, right?
Yeah.
Blame Spence.
Who like this on that part?
Engineer a way for this mic to sound good in Discord, Spence.
No. You forget, he's not an engineer. He's a science-neer.
I will give you a perfect way to fix it. Pick it up, extend your arm backward, and release at high speed.
I'm just using a laptop microphone, I think, and that's across the room.
See, Spence's solution is like my solution for almost every computer issue that anybody I've ever known has had. Takes 2 fingers to fix almost any computer issue. You take your two fingers like this.
Don't give away state secrets.
And you push until it falls off. Usually it'll fall off, hit the floor, and that will solve all problems with it.
No, the way you solve all computer problems, it only takes 1 finger. You turn it off, and you turn it back on. There you go.
Reboot.
That doesn't always work.
90% of all computer problems are solved on a reboot. And you know another way to solve those? Is unplug the power.
Yeah.
Because if you reboot, sometimes that doesn't work. I tell my people all the time, unplug the power. Because it's
occasionally, though, unplugging the power can bork Windows.
Not
sometimes if you can't get plugged in.
Not any more than Windows is already borked. I'm a firm believer that Bill Gates has never released a finished product, and he never will.
Well, he's too busy trying to blot out the sun now.
This is gonna be a big pain in my butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Suspense.
See?
Eric said scienceers can send rockets to the moon, but can't figure out why they fall all the time when they with untied sneakers.
What?
I'm sorry, what? Huh?
Basically, he's saying you can send a rocket to the moon, but you can't figure out why you keep tripping over your shoelaces when your shoes are untied.
Yeah, sure, I'll go with that.
Well, see, my response to that is, I figured that out. I don't wear shoes, you know. I'm in my 50s. I don't wear shoes with laces. Because I are lazy.
It's done.
Well, I'm sure glad I sprayed this with clear first. Because this thing just, sometimes this Tamiya wash is great, other times it won't go on, and sometimes it just like explodes.
Oh, yeah. I'm using acrylic wash right now on mine because I don't really have time to wait.
I should have done some of this beforehand.
A lot messier with these acrylic washes, but
See, what you guys got to do is be like me. Get the model done, and then wait a month to post anything about it.
Oh, that's what I do. I've got like 2 videos I need to finish that one for the Enterprise. And I've got one for my Corsair that I got halfway done.
Well, my TIE Fighter, it was done for a month before I finally got around to posting any pics.
Well, I finished the Batmobile and still haven't done the video for it yet, so.
well, the good thing about Slave 1 is that aside from like the backside of the ship, it's really just chipping. There's like not a whole awful lot of washes or streaking or anything. There's some, but not a lot. So this should go rather quick. Paint chipping is what took forever.
Yeah, but that chipping looks awesome.
It does.
It does. I cannot recommend the Loho chipping medium enough.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's what I used on mine.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but that sounds like a C-130 in the background outside.
I don't know.
It's like there's an Air Force base around here somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. I've been there.
To Scott or?
Scott, yeah, because we used to, that's where we would go for medical. So we'd go over there for all our medical stuff. Big stuff. They had a clinic in downtown St. Louis, but the big stuff we went to Scott for.
Ah. So were you stationed out this way?
Yeah, I was stationed in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Wait, weren't you Coast Guard?
Yep. I was at the base there.
Oh, there's a Coast Guard base there?
There used to be, foot of Iron Street. Now there's not. They closed that down.
So I guess it was for the river?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And at the base, what we did at the base was did search and rescue, law enforcement, and then get the buoy tenders supplied.
Not sure what Eric was talking about, but he said Velcro works.
It
Nine
does.
shoes.
Ah,
For shoes, yeah. Nobody's ever gonna see that.
now when I finally fully retire, sweatpants or shorts and a t-shirt. I might even take off my slippers and put on shoes.
Goonie Goo Goo.
You work from home anyway, Buck. You can wear whatever you want to.
I do. Although
I know I do.
my new boss is talking about us starting to go into the office.
What do you want to do that for?
I know. I agree.
I do. I want to get back to that office. Whenever I go in the office, I actually get shit done.
Well, see, here's the funny thing about my office is I've switched jobs last June. So my current office, I don't have a desk in, and I've only been in that office twice. You know, it's the standard cube farm thing.
Well, did you switch over to
Got
that
it.
office right before the COVID?
So what?
You switched over to that office right before the COVID?
No, I've switched over after.
Even better.
Yeah, I was interviewed and everything after COVID hit. And now I'm just waiting until, because I moved over the same pay scale, but I moved over because there's more opportunity to promote where I'm at now. There was no opportunity in the my old job. But we have
My job doesn't promote at all. I've been in the same position for almost 30 years without a promotion.
wow.
Then they went and they were going to try to fix that because everybody was leaving. So they were going to fix it, but all they did was gave people who weren't really ITs more money for not being ITs and gave us less money for being ITs. I don't know how that worked out.
Finance guys got it. Wait, I'm a finance guy. That didn't happen.
No, the union guys got it.
As long as you don't blame the finance guys.
No.
It's always the finance guy's fault.
You know, it's funny too because 10 years ago when I retired, oh, as a matter of fact, I just thought about that. I actually thought about it yesterday and just remembered. Today is my 10-year anniversary as a government civilian employee. Yay!
No.
But 10 years ago, it blew my mind that just the idea that I was going to have a budget of $10 million. And now I have a smaller than my largest budget was at my last job, which was $3 billion. And now where I'm at now, I work a portion of that exact same budget, but it's only about $108 million.
Oh,
That's all. Huh?
Well, here's the funny thing you'll find with finance people who've done big numbers like that. The key to remember is that it's the exact same amount of work, you just move the decimal to the left or the right. Come on.
I would think sometimes it would be harder to do the smaller budgets. You're gonna expect the same amount of shit for less money.
The smaller budgets are more fun because you can get more in the weeds on them. The larger budgets, you just hope that everything works out. You manage on a macro scale and don't sweat the little stuff. My first budget when I was active duty was $130,000, and I knew where every single cent of that was. My current budget, I have an idea where it's at, but I work as the resource advisor for another directorate, and there's 6 people over there that do contracts and everything else, so I just make sure there's money for whatever they're doing. And poke them every now and then because they do something stupid.
Like pay $400 for a hammer?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Ice cream's good.
By God, though, if you pay that kind of money, it's because of 2 words. Mil spec. You put mil spec on anything and you can guarantee the price just went up a whole bunch.
Well, like in on ships and stuff, if you take a screw and call it a marine screw, you can double the price.
But that's only if you write the price in crayon, right?
I mean, you could, like I said, anything. I mean, we'd go buy screws, and if it was a marine screw, it'd be like $10. We just went and bought a screw. It was like, 50 cents.
Yeah, you missed it. I was dogging the Marines. But I know exactly what you're talking about. That didn't come out too bad. Those little legs.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's good.
The fun part about painting these scaffoldings, especially after you put them together, is not leaving shadows of the scaffolding on the part beyond the scaffold. Set this aside to dry. Be right back, guys. I am parched and have no water here.
Man, I need better light. Hard to do weather when everything's in the shadow.
Okay, I'm back. So for my next trick, I try and see if I can put all these floors on here without scratching the red paint all off.
Good luck with that.
Oh, yeah, that's weathering. That's weathering. You scratch the paint off.
No, weathering is knocking this tower over and having it shatter. It didn't shatter, but I did just knock it over.
Abort! Abort!
You know what? I think, and it's so weird because I know I've never built this kit, but it feels so much like my brother built it, except for in '78 Paul was, he might have. Paul was 68 or 16. But this didn't come out to the 80s, and he was out of the house by then. It's just some of this stuff is very deja vu, and I've never built this kit.
Maybe just as a space kit. You build one space kit, you built them all.
I'll have to disagree with that. You got this tower thing in the middle? Oh, and I was about to make a really big mistake. I'm glad I just stopped and thought. Because I was about to glue, I was like, I can glue this together right now. And I was about to glue this pin into the floor that it goes to. But the only problem is, then I have to paint this whole scaffolding white.
Oh.
So that would be a bad mistake.
Nobody noticed.
I would, because this would now be white instead of blue or gray. And I would cry.
Much better.
Much more better?
Well, everything was small. I forgot I didn't increase my desktop size, so everything was like real small.
Ah.
Okay.
It's really weird that these things have been painted for like 5 days, and they're still trying to stick to each other.
Did you use enamel paint?
I used rattle can.
Enamel?
Tell you in a second. Doesn't actually say, I don't think.
Who made it?
Rust-Oleum. Where's Kenny? Kenny should be going boo now.
You say that's probably just who knows.
It's probably enamel.
Yeah.
Every time I've used enamel, it takes forever to dry to completely cure out.
Yeah, it's got to be enamel. It's definitely not acrylic. But it's such a pretty blue.
I've used that before and not had too bad of a problem with it.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing is it's dry to the touch. No tackiness. It's just that when you set it on its, on itself, or I'm not going to repaint that because it's going to be up where you can't see it. If you look right there by the end of my fingernail, if you set have a piece of paper sit on it overnight, it sticks.
Huh.
Oh, that's what I was going to do. I do have to say that Revell was really nice on this kit, because if you guys remember the when I did the out of box review, these two sprues, Revell says basically scratch build the handrails, and here, we'll give you the stuff to do it with.
Yeah.
Instead of giving handrails for these edges here, they say, yeah, build it.
But nobody came up with a photo etch handrails?
I'm pretty sure, actually, when I first got this, I looked into photo etch for it, and I wasn't going to pay for the three photo etch things that they had for it. $374.
Yeah, okay. Don't blame you.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was in 2014. I don't even know if they still make that stuff. But
They don't make it. Somebody's got it. Now they want $400 for it.
oh no, if it was $375 in 14, in 21 they want about $1,500 for it. It's like the
Hang on a second, guys. I'll be right back.
yep, the little Klingon battle cruiser. That one used to go for I picked one up for $5 at one point, and now that thing is $75 if you can find it.
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple of those in 350 scale.
The ones,
Birds of Prey.
yeah, I have, I think 5 of them. and it's like Matt put a what was it that he put on there? The 50th anniversary 650th scale Enterprise.
Yeah.
He put that for sale on HLI yesterday, and I went and looked.
Oh yeah.
I looked at it. I'm like, that sounds like a good idea, good deal. You know, he put it up there for
Is that
40
the one on the
bucks.
tin?
Huh?
Is that the one on the tin?
No.
I'll tell you, I've got the Klingon in the tin, but I couldn't find the Enterprise in the tin.
Well, it's funny because I looked at ScaleMates when I saw his thing, and I was like, holy crap, between releases, I've got 5 of those. Okay, where did I miss it? I love having ScaleMates, though. It keeps me sometimes from buying duplicate kits.
Yeah, I think I started putting my stuff on there, and I just kind of never finished because I keep doing that. I keep buying kits I already have,
Well, what helped
and
me...
sometimes I do that on purpose. You know.
What helped me to get my entire stash on there was I moved it 3 times.
Well, I've got a DVD thing or Blu-ray thing that I like that you just scan the barcode.
That's not bad.
And yeah, I forget the name of the company that makes it in Europe somewhere, but yeah, you just use your phone. It's on your app on your phone. You scan it. You can draw it. And it puts everything in there. And on the software, it puts a picture of the cover and all the information. Boink, you're done. No, really entering anything. And they have all kinds of obscure. I got some obscure movies, and they have those in there.
That's not bad at all.
That'd be nice if you had that for models, and all you have to do is scan the barcode, and you're done. I'd be zipping through my stash.
Yeah.
I know they got that kind of stuff for paint.
Yeah, because that one company, they put that out with this deal. I forget the name of the company now. Let me see here. Oh, Paint Rack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I've actually submitted some things to ScaleMates as well. If you've got, but key thing is, if you've got the company and the model number, it's pretty quick to put your stuff into ScaleMates.
Yep. I had a couple old vinyl kits from the 80s I put in there.
I'm not going to say most, but a lot of the wooden kits on there are for me.
Yeah. There was a vinyl kit of Ambassador Spock from the Next Generation.
Cool.
And I had never heard of it before, never seen it before, anywhere. And I put that up on ScaleMates, and then it was it Dirk Pitt over on the Community? Yeah, I think it was him. He said, I think I've seen that kit once, like ever. And it was $30 off eBay. I don't know how the hell I managed to buy it for that much.
The same way that when I bought my C57D 27-incher, that I got it for $50.
Yeah, that ain't cheap.
No. Well, when I bought it, they were the going price, because I've been collecting models for a long time, but the going price for that thing was $100. I mean, it wasn't out of production at the time. And somebody had it on eBay for buy it now or best offer, and I said $50. They accepted it, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
My wife looked at me and said, how do you do that? I said, I just do. when I have the ability to do a best offer, I lowball because I plan on, the back and forth. And sometimes I get no reply, and sometimes I actually get awesome deals that way.
Yeah, half the time they want, because I always try to like build in shipping. Okay, I got it down with the price I'm going to pay for shipping, and
Yeah.
sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't.
I actually had
It's not.
the one time it didn't work out. I had a guy actually he blackballed me from ever bidding on his stuff again. I was like, okay, it didn't hurt my feelings.
Well, don't make an offer if you're not willing to do that.
Yeah. That's what I always think is funny is when people, they put buy it now or best offer, and for sake of argument, they put $20 and you offer 15, and it's not high enough. And I never get to the point where I'm offering what they're asking, because when I get close enough, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why is it even up there for best offer?
Right.
I'm so tempted to try and bend this instead of cut it. Come on.
Wow, I come back in here and it's dead silent. I'm thinking, did everybody leave?
Yep. Actually, I'm sitting here trying to find a picture of this. Of the handrails here, just for a reference.
You don't need a reference. Just start slinging stuff together. It'll work out.
I do that anyway.
I mean, come on, you're building something built by the lowest bidder for the government, so
Love that line from Armageddon.
yeah.
Hey, Buck's a government employee, so
Which means they got me for the lowest bid.
well, there you go. Then you're the lowest bidder building something for the government.
How the hell is that happening?
Okay. I was going to try and bend this, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm not sure how long ago Kenny came back, but he said he's back. What did I miss? Everything, Kenny. You missed everything.
Building.
Figured out the origins of life.
42.
42.
That's the ultimate answer to the ultimate question. But what is the ultimate question?
That's not important. You don't need to know what the question is when you already have the answer.
Yeah, if you already have if you have the answer key to the test, who cares what the hell the questions are?
What is that? That is very nice. So this second railing is just perfect to fit right behind the legs on this thing. And I have to say, that's one hell of a lightning rod. I just realized I'm off camera doing shit again.
I am too at the moment, but this whole screw won't fit in the camera. So.
Why not? Get a bigger camera. Trying to figure out which glue I want to use to try and glue these things down. What I really want is a couple of locator pins.
You can make some.
Yeah, but then I'd have to shorten the rest of the legs.
Why would you have to shorten the legs just because you made locator pins?
If I did used one of the legs as a locator pin, I'd have to either put holes for all of them.
Screw.
Either have
Yeah, he didn't say use what was there as a locator pin. He said make a
Well-
locator pin.
Okay, there.
Yeah, make.
Fine semantics.
Your entertainment starts at 3. So into your shows.
It's kind of funny. I saw a thing on eBay yesterday. Guy said unknown kit. You know, it was unknown remnants from a kit. You know, it wasn't the whole thing, and he knew it. And I looked at it, and I'm
I
like,
got a box of that.
well, it was funny because he didn't have the shuttle, he didn't have the this main tower, but he had a whole bunch of the other parts to it, and I was like, maybe. And the second, no.
Yep, and then you broke something, you're going to be going, man, I should have bought that.
Nah, actually, if I break something on here, if I break something on this thing, nobody will know it but me. And then I will promptly point it out to anybody who ever looks at the model. I'll go, yeah, it's really good, but this part here is broken.
I just wish Ravel would learn how to make an airplane fuselage with screw gates that are about an inch and a half long.
You know, the funny thing on these handrails is this glue is only going to be there to tack it in place because it's by no stretch of the imagination going to have any strength whatsoever. What's actually going to hold these handrails on here is paint.
Paint as glue.
Yeah.
I've done that.
That'll work.
Yeah.
A coat or two of the white paint over it, then maybe some future or clear. And that will have more strength than the glue does.
Then why don't you just glue your whole model together with paint?
Let me go get a can of spray paint. I'll just spray the whole thing in the box and leave it there. Done! I don't think so. Damn it. Damn it. You know, I just realized something, guys.
What's that?
You put it on all backwards.
No. This is model of the year 2020 entrant. Or 2022. Ah.
2022?
Yes.
You jumping ahead there.
Well, see, that's the thing, is the group build for the shuttle is through next April.
That's true.
Yeah.
So if I take that long, if I get this done in 2022, I'll put it up for Madi 2022. If I get it done in 2021, it'll go up for 2021 because this, I'm putting it up for amateur level. Novice.
That that is assuming the rules next year will allow you, because this year, I think this year the rules are any model you've been working on the past couple of years.
Yeah.
If those are still the same rules next year.
I think
It
Kenny.
used to be
Good.
it used to be you had to have started the model within that year, but I think with the COVID-19
Yeah, you
stuff,
changed that last year.
yeah, and I hope he still keeps doing that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Billy's
say.
sitting there on the YouTube watching, going, I need to change that.
Yeah, I think he's. I have a feeling he's going to make it permanent for at least the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Because some of the models, like something like this, that's got hundreds of pieces. There are people out there like HPI Model Guy that would build this thing in the afternoon, and then there's people like me
Yeah.
who might finish this. But I'm I'm 57 this year. I might finish it before I retire. Or the one that I found on the internet who's been working on it since 2013.
But one part a year.
Well, no, he's doing more than one part a year. It's just that his is so detailed. It's unreal.
Oh.
I mean, he's got, I want to say, and I didn't read them all, he's got like 88 pages on his blog for just this model.
That's some hardcore there.
Yeah. It's not perfect, but I think it'll do. Just holding the railing right now to try and get it straight because it's leaning. Does it show how much I'm dreading trying to put the tube through these things, that I went and did these little railings instead?
Eventually, you're gonna have to do them.
Yep. Alright. Let me see if I can find somewhere where I'm going to drop something on there and snap every one of those railings off or in half. We do that by we plan on doing that, right?
Then you can do even more straight building.
Exactly. So let me
It's
see.
all method in the madness.
Oh no, there's a madness to my method, not a method to my madness.
My God, man, he actually did it.
Who did what?
Just trying to join in on the conversation.
Oh, okay.
Method of the madness, right? It's like, you son of a bitch, you did it. You actually did it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna have to let this guy dry. I'm starting to put fingerprints on it.
Actually, let me look at this first.
I gotta say, these Army Painter washes are awesome.
They are. There it is.
I might actually get this thing done before the 4th after all.
I'm probably gonna get there.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm just about done with these washes.
Come on.
Well, since I'm changing my base idea, I'll definitely get it done. And I don't think Imperial stuff should be too grunged up because they have all the money.
Yep.
It should look used but not grunged up.
Gonna dig out my carbon pencils, whatever the hell they're digging.
One of these years I gotta build my B-17. I've got like 3 or 4 of them.
This is the only one I have.
Yeah, I got the nose art one they were selling at Hobby Lobby for like $5. Then I've got one that's the original, I forget who made it, like back in the 70s. So I had that kit when I was a kid. So I rebought that on eBay for pretty cheap. I actually bought that at a model show.
The original monogram one?
Yeah. I picked that one up at a model show. Pretty
That's
cheap.
the same kit. Ravel just took the monogram kit, threw it in a box, and some different decals, and went, "Look, new kit."
Of course. It's what Polar Lights does with most everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Well, I think they retool
But
some.
occasionally they'll rework them,
Yeah, they'll do a retool.
like the Excelsior. Oh, I want that kit.
You mean the one they just released?
Just re-released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It has separate bridge modules for the NX version and the NCC version and several other parts that were different between the two. It actually has parts for each one.
so what you're saying, Donnie, is that I should take my old Excelsior and the one that's in the plastic up above me and do a random live stream someday comparing the two?
Oh, you have both of them?
Yes. I believe I believe I do. Well, let me see. To the scale mates.
I
Oh,
have the old AMT one. I don't have the new Polar Lights one.
I had it on.
ports of that.
I had it on back order on Cult TV Man, so you know. That's how, because his policy, at least what I've read, don't know if he ever enforces it. His policy is if you put something on back order and you don't buy it, you don't ever get a back order again.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
It makes sense because he has to buy the kit.
Yeah.
I don't have the old one. Actually, let me see, 2016. So I have, I have 2 of the 50th anniversary, 1 of the Enterprise B, and now the re-release.
Well, I think I have the Enterprise B. But I don't know if that's the same kit. I think it's just the same kit with different box art.
Well, let me.
It's the same kit with different parts. There's some different parts in it.
Oh.
So yeah, you're right. The B, I'm looking on ScaleMates. The B is new parts, and then the 2016 is new parts, and the 2021 is just a new box.
Yeah, I have the old Excelsior and the old Enterprise B, but I don't have the new Polar Lights one.
So you're talking you have the old AMT Excelsior.
Yes.
Cool. I think I've looked at it before, and I just couldn't get it for the amount I would want to spend for it.
I never understood why they put like some of the windows, but not all of the windows. Like, oh, we're gonna put some windows here, but don't worry about those over there, and then we'll put some there and skip those.
Okay, so Kenny said that it is staying. Previous built models can be entered. May change it back to the old way of any model you have built can be entered. For the for Mahdi. I think as long as it's one that, you know, if it's a shelf queen that's been on the shelf for a decade, I think that's a little stretching it a little bit. But if it's something like my Black Pearl, which I dabble in every now and then, and I've been working on it for a year and a half, or this thing that's going to take me a year, or the Titanic that's going to take a year.
Maybe he should say any kit that you finished this year.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Any kit that you actually figured out how to finally finish it.
That's a new category for the Mahdi. You finally finished it. Better now, it's the Buck Award.
Yeah.
Nick is winner of the Buck Award. And the category of I finally finished it.
Kenny just said he has shelf queens better than 10 years old.
Wow.
Hopefully it takes them all day to lay wood.
Well, see, that's the thing, is the Black Pearl, when I finally start doing the bulkheads, there'll be a lot of wood being laid on that thing too.
Yeah, but 8 hours in one day?
I usually don't have that much endurance. It's like I see you sometimes, you're still on, and then you post something, I'm like, good God, he's still working.
You gotta have priorities, man.
Okay. I better let this thing dry. I keep messing with it.
So let me see. I'm going to try and at least get these floors basically in the right spot. This right here is part of the reason this thing is a skill level 5 kit.
Is it supposed to be red like that?
Depends on which set of instructions you look at. It was.
I would look at an actual launch.
Oh, that was bad. I looked away.
Okay, well.
So.
Well, now it's built by the lowest contractor, and they screwed it up, and they're just going to cover it up and walk away.
Yeah, but here.
based on this shoe, I would say that core is supposed to be red.
Yep, that's red, all right.
And that's the thing, is that it's gray or white now. But when they first built this thing, it was still the Saturn V tower, and it was red.
Oh.
It's one of the things that I've learned while building this kit is, and I never realized that, this tower on pad 39, pretty much everything we've launched into space has launched from this at one time or another. Even the Falcon 9s are launching from this thing now.
Hey, if it ain't broke.
Okay, that tells me where those are supposed to go. Now I don't have to bring over the tower, knock it over, and break things.
Where's your sense of adventure?
No, that's my sense of misadventure.
You know, once you get all done, you're going to realize you put them on backwards.
Of course. And at that point, I will just press on with pride and be like, meh.
Meh.
Looks good to me. Nah, you'll have to change it, but because you'll know it's wrong.
No, I'll leave it the way it is. I'll just tell everybody what's wrong with it. What's going to be adventurous is how I'm going to do the lights on here.
Yeah, you bought those little HO scale lights, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought those, but for the tower, it's going to be just LED strip. And the way I'm going to do the wires is I've got all these grates running up this tower. There's going to be wiring running down from each level down to the base.
Through those gratings.
Yeah, I'm going to just poke it in through the top of the grating and drop a wire down.
Nice.
And with the level, what's going to work out really nice is that the level of the towers or the floors all hit right at the grading level.
So you'll be able to run the wires from the grating out to each floor.
Yep. Actually, it's going to be the opposite direction. It's going to be, I'm going to do the lights and put a really long lead on the last set of LEDs. Now see, and here's the thing. A smart person would do the LEDs now and have them already glued onto the floors. Nobody said I was a smart person.
Well, now that you've thought of it, you can do it now.
Now I'm going to, well,
Stop what you're doing
actually,
and start doing LEDs.
no. The LED strip can go on, once these floors are basically in the right spot, I can do the LED strip and then I can sandwich it into that tower. And that will put me all the way to step 5 in 3 weeks. No, 2 weeks. So 16.
That's not too bad.
No.
So, what little bit of streaking is on the slave one? I'm using one of these, just a charcoal or carbon pencil,
Nice.
because These streaks are too tiny, and I don't have enough time to muck around with painting those on.
Why don't you clear coat over it? The charcoal pencil should work fine.
Yep.
You know, we had an R rating because there's been a couple of swearings, but now that Spence is starting to get ready to streak, we may get kicked off of YouTube.
TLS, man. TLS.
Come on. You know, the funny thing is, if I can get away with it, I'm not going to bother to put any glue on these floors.
Just don't tip it over when you're showing it to somebody.
Well, the design of the tower, these floors should socket into the tower pretty well. $14. Oh, damn it.
Put them on backwards.
I put one on backwards. And I blame not.
Yeah, you did.
I blame not Spence.
Okay.
I blame Donnie because he said that's what was going to happen.
You gotta leave it. You said you wasn't gonna change it. You have to leave it, Buck.
You said when I was done.
It's not going to work that way.
Doesn't matter. He said he was gonna leave it. He said he was gonna leave it and just point it out to people when he showed it to them.
Yeah, but that's too obvious. You can't leave that one.
You could.
Tower wouldn't go together.
Minor technicality.
Someday I will have to set up a microphone on these live streams out in our dining room so you guys can enjoy the sounds of the hundreds of clocks that go off. Not really hundreds, it's only like, I think we only have batteries in like 6 or 7 of them. But for like a good solid 5 minutes, I've got clocks making noise out there. And the newest one plays the Ghostbuster theme.
I was gonna say, didn't you have a
Nice.
Ghostbusters one?
Yep.
You don't have that one in your shop, would you?
I was going to put that actually in the display room, which my wife is okay with once the display room's set up and the Ghostbuster car is done. It's actually her collection of clocks.
Except that one.
Yes. And that collection of clocks all started one day in Sam's Club when we saw their Merry Melodies clock and said, that's kind of cool. Or not Merry Melodies, Melodies in Motion. We were like, that's kind of cool. We got to buy that. And then we found out it was an annual clock. And
Yeah, they're pretty good.
then she buys cuckoo clocks from Bradford Exchange. And when we were in Germany, she actually sold cuckoo clocks.
Oh, really?
Yes, she worked for a cuckoo clock company. And the clock we have in our house, let me think. We bought it in so it technically is an antique. I don't remember how much we paid for it, but with her employee discount, we got a pretty good deal on it. And I'm willing to bet we couldn't touch that thing for under about $400 or $500 now.
Nice.
Yeah. Living in Germany was fun. It was good. The tower is tired. It leaned.
The Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Okay. So that's a 13 and another 13. I think that one's a little
I
bit
never
tight.
realized how much stuff inside a B-17 would.
Is what?
Wood.
Come on. Why wouldn't you have a lot of wood in a B-17? In Turkey, the 57 Chevys have wood frames.
B-17's not made in Turkey.
Neither were 57 Chevys. Not originally, at least. You gotta love places like Turkey where copyright law does not exist.
In China.
Yep. Although Disney does manage to crack down on some of these places pretty well.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of places where you can't. Well, let me think. Yeah, some of the places I've bought the knockoff Legos. Disney and Lego have cracked down on them, and so they still sell a bunch of kits, but they aren't exact copies of the Lego kits anymore.
I don't see how, if the law doesn't cover it in that country, how could Disney crack down on it?
Don't know. Well,
He would come to them and say, hey, you can't do that. Sorry, law doesn't say I
Well,
can't.
you can put tariffs on them for
That's-
violating.
that's what I was going to say is they can still sell them there, but you don't find them on the versions of the website that you can get to here. Wow, that one's was almost made to fit on there. So remember to take the, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, you should have seen that one slide down. And the paint does not look bad. I don't think I need to do any touch-ups with a brush. That's a bonus.
Nah, brush painting is important. But if you buy some minis and practice your brush painting skills, then you wouldn't worry so much about having to touch things up with a brush.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just happy I don't have to do it. The Tiny Batman came out just fine.
Yeah, but look at poor Bane.
Well, see, that's unpainted Bane.
Right,
If I paint him, I have to change his name.
right.
He becomes somebody else.
He becomes Painted Bane.
No, then he would become Tiny Bane. So now to see if this actually belongs inside this tower.
You're not gonna have a working elevator on that?
It's inside the core. Well, here's what's funny is I say that kind of in jest. I'm not going to put a working elevator into this model, no, but the elevator that goes up the tower is literally inside the core because, or I believe it is, because I built a Lego version of this tower for the Saturn V, and it has a working elevator in it.
Lego trumps Reveal.
Actually, it's not Lego, it's knockoff Lego.
Okay.
Logo.
Lego trumps Reveal.
It's logos.
No, it's the company's actually Lepin.
The pin.
Yep, Chinese Legos. Oops, top of the tower fell off.
And
I hate when that happens.
Wow, that floor was almost in the right spot to begin with. So I've decided the instructions were wrong. The instructions said to only put 2 sides of the tower on first before putting in these floors. Actually, the tower, the instructions said to put 2 sides of the tower on, put these floors in, put the 3rd side of the tower on, do some other stuff, and then try and slide this core up through it while it's all put together.
I don't see a problem with that.
I do. It was all
We'll put one in backwards.
well. That would keep that from happening, but it was already a pain to get them all to go down to where they are now. Can you imagine trying to do all 12 of them at once? Actually, it's only 11 so far. The 12th one goes up on the top.
We do it every night.
Just because. I have dogs coming downstairs. Wow. I just happened to look over at the chat and Kenny said that CBS shut down Simon Merckx because of Star Trek stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's
Probably hit him with
What?
they probably hit him with a cease and desist on his models.
Yeah.
no way. That's crazy.
That's CBS.
Yeah, but he's just building models that me or you could go buy.
I don't know. I'm surprised that they
Making his own unauthorized models.
well, that's what I was going to say is I'm surprised that they haven't gone after what's his name? Steve Neal.
Yeah, for his custom one.
Because
He hasn't built one of those in years, though.
He actually, well, from my understanding, watching his channel before he went and monetized everything, he was building one for the Smithsonian.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder why they would go after him if he's just building.
Well, he was
Doesn't make
actually
sense.
he was actually making the molds in the whole 9 yards. But you know,
I mean, for Merckx, I don't know. He just was just building once he buys and then sells them.
yeah.
Unless they're saying you can't do that.
Well,
If he's
probably.
making you know, I mean, hypothetically, say if he's making a profit, then if you really go in the letter of the law there, then yeah, they could do that because he's making a profit off their material.
Yeah.
But that's pretty, you know.
Well, he's not actually making a profit off their material, though. He's not making the kit. He's making a profit off of his labor of assembling the kit.
Yeah, that's true, but like I said, if you really go with the letter of the law, when, you know, depending on their SLAs, does it say that if you buy the kit, you build it, it's yours. If you sell it to somebody else for a bigger profit, then they could do that, which could really mess up a lot of people.
And I'm sure that's what they're doing. Is they're going,
Not for Boyd.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Actually, they may have that. I mean, Boyd, I don't know that he still builds a whole lot of Star Trek.
sure he does.
The TOS.
Yeah, he's
not
still-
wrong with you.
Yeah, 'cause he just did a big build on the TOS, and I think he's going to start doing one on the Enterprise A.
That's
Is it-
great. That's
It could also be in part that, you know, like we were saying a little bit, you know, Simon did a lot of like garage kits and stuff. It could have been that somebody, kind of like Randy Cooper, got a little bit too close and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
he was
okay.
doing a lot of that.
Cooper made the kit.
Well, Kenny said he was selling prop reproductions that weren't authorized, not regular model kits.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
damn.
Okay, boys, I gotta go. Before my laptop dies.
Cool. Have a good one, Stu.
Yep. See you, Shu.
See you next weekend.
Yep.
Yep.
Once I get these clamps on, I'm gonna call it a stream too. I just want to get all the floors in place.
What time is it?
That's 2:19. It's early still. We've gone to
2019.
3 o'clock before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just have to, at this point, I think just put some pastels in some places and then I'll be done with the weathering, so.
Let me see if I can get this last one back in here. This is actually the second time I've done this, but the first time I did it was without the tower in here. I fit all the floors in before. But this could be interesting. I gotta stand up for this one.
Oh, this is getting serious.
No, just tall. Come on. See you later, Kenny. Kenny's off to Home Depot.
Alright. Is he gonna get a new grill too?
I think all of us are. We didn't get a grill, we got a griddle instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I posted pictures of it on Discord.
Look at this though.
It's pretty good size. You know, it had all kinds of things listed on the outside of the box that, you know, because it's a griddle, not a grill,
Right.
but still for outdoors. The most important one in my mind was 72 pieces of bacon. Everybody needs to be able to cook 72 pieces of bacon at one time.
Of course.
Next time, well, the next time I catch him when he's streaming that he's grilling, I'm going to put a comment in there that says, Eric, can you cook 72 pieces of bacon at once?
He's got a good size grill.
He does. But you know how it is. You know, Eric's one of those people that for some reason we just naturally pick on.
He is. Us and Goofy.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to pop this last piece in here. Wow. That kind of shows perspective on the tower. What's on my camera right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh. You sure you got enough clamps on it?
Uh-huh. 2 per floor
No.
on each
I
side.
think you need some more.
Okay, I'll put 2 more on. And you see that on the bottom, those 2 clamps, they're not doing anything but making sure it doesn't fall over.
Yeah.
And then this will go on here like that. Wow, that's kind of funny because this counterweight is actually about the right weight to counteract the weight of the.
Wait, what?
Hang on, I'm putting the counterweight back on the crane. So the counterweight does actually counterbalance the weight of the crane.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, but in real life, this counterweight is just a huge chunk of concrete.
No, yeah.
Okay. That's perspective.
Cool.
That is literally almost touching my camera that is about 2.5 feet above my work surface. Alright guys, I'm going to shut off
Like
this.
this.
Yeah. But yours is what? 172nd?
That's just
Do what?
Yours is 172nd?
148.
148th? This is 144th.
Right.
Let me get the focus going here.
So just to let you guys know, I'm shutting down the stream on YouTube.
Okay.